man. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling tired this week. But we hit 55 miles last week. Good quality workouts. Sleep for me. Life being a little crazy with the flooding in North Carolina because that's where my in-laws live. But overall, it was a good week. Here's the recap. So, future Dylan here. Do me a favor. Hit that subscribe, like button, hit the notification bell, all those things that feed the algorithm, right? That way more people can see this. More people come along for the drive, for the ride. We can have some fun with it. So, I'm just going for a little stroll now. Kind of work the kinks out of the legs for sitting down and doing some more editing and work stuff at the desk. So get up and move. Hit the subscribe, like button down below, and yeah, it'll be fun. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. So here's the deal. Last week really took it out of me. When last we talked, I was planning on, feeling good, picking up tempo just a little bit on the easy miles, just so I didn't feel like I was plodding as much. And you know what? We did that. Unfortunately, like with the cool weather coming in, because we didn't get hit by Helene here in northern Louisiana. So shout out to all the folks that are dealing with that, cleaning up still. It's time recording on Wednesday, post hurricane. But we had beautiful weather. It was nice and cool. Chardonnay is going to hang out and help out with the thing here. But the weather was nice and cool last week, and having made the decision to kind of do, just kind of pick up the tempo just a little bit on the easy days, and the cool weather, it resulted in me not getting a lot of true easy miles in. So Wednesday we did 4 times 5 minutes of at threshold effort, which felt pretty good. I think the first one was a little quick, but on the grand scheme of things, they felt pretty good. They were good. And then we finished with 6 10-second hill sprints. Chardonnay's kind of distracting, isn't she? Chardonnay will do that, I guess. But, so 6 times 10 seconds hill sprints, and they went great. The last couple of reps, I started to feel that left glute again, just a tad. So, I wasn't really very surprised. It's not uncommon for me to feel that doing high-speed stuff or hill repeats, let alone when we're doing high-speed stuff up hills, right? But Thursday came out, we lifted, threw some medicine balls around on Wednesday, about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the workout at the track. Went to the gym, threw some medicine balls around with the wife. That was fun. I eat that kind of stuff up because it's kind of that developing that aerobic engine some more. And, but it's still kind of functional core work. Working some ranges of motion. Come here, cat. Working some ranges of motion you don't normally use when you're running, but are real good for developing some of that core integrity and range of motion that you need to not get hurt, right? It's good cross training. And it's not impact because it's weightlifting that's explosive, but you don't have to hang on to it. You can chuck it and develop lots of power. We're doing slams and squats with overhead tosses and doing chest passes against the wall. It was great. They felt awesome. Thursday, my legs were cooked. And like my watch was all kind of messed up, so I wasn't really checking, trusting the splits or the heart rate monitor on it. I think I need a new watch. But what I do trust on it, no matter what, is the accelerometer on it, because that's not tied into anything else. And so, seeing that I hit like 158 or 159 steps per minute or less, somewhere around in that range, less than 160, that's when I know that I'm having a slow day. But Friday morning rolled around, good weather, feeling a little perkier after a good night's sleep. And I was like, all right, I'm feeling good. And I ended up kind of holding most of that 7-mile run. Was about 90 to 95% of goal marathon pace. So it was probably a little faster than it should have been. But it felt amazing. It was great. I loved it. Felt like $1 million. Saturday came around, 60-mile long run. So having learned from the last couple of weeks of getting crushed, trying to do goal marathon pace on the tail end of the workout, but still kind of taking advantage of the cooler weather, I did like several miles at about that 90 to 95% goal marathon pace on the front half of the run. And then once I got to mile 8, I did 2 miles of goal marathon pace with a mile float, and then another 2 miles with a mile float, and then 1 mile with a mile cool down slash float slash easy, whatever you want to call it, coming home. Now, I didn't get started till about 8. So by 10, it was starting to get a little warm, you know. So, I mean, I was dehydrated for sure, despite sucking down a lot of water. But the workout went pretty well. I didn't feel that bad, but I was definitely tired. But that afternoon and evening and Sunday, I noticed like I was just tired and irritable. Saturday night, I woke up in the middle of the night, like my legs were physically sore, right? Despite wearing the super shoes, which have a little more cush to them for the long run, you know, I think the 7 miles at, 90-95% of goal marathon pace on Friday, and then coming around hitting 16 on Saturday with 5 miles of goal marathon pace and like 5 or 6 miles at least at about 90-95% of that. It was a lot. Also did some band work on Friday, which, not too crazy. Fridays, take it easy in the weight room because we got the long run Saturday morning. So some band work, some core work, hits the spot. So Sunday, I was tired. So I just did like an easy half hour, just enough to kind of get some blood moving, easy recovery run. And then we went and hiked, not very far. We hiked Driscoll Mountain. We went to the highest point in Louisiana, all 535 feet of it. And we hiked that little 1.5-mile trail, or, it's like 3/4 mile up, or, yeah, I think it's 3/4 mile up and 3/4 mile back. Real short, not technical or steep or anything like that. But it's fun, getting out with the family, getting the legs moving again, just, again, a little more recovery work. But, yeah, even Monday morning, like, I was still tired. My legs are beat to hell from Friday and Saturday. Like, they're just physically sore. And so I'd planned on running a medium long run of like 11-ish miles and then going to lift. But I got up a little bit late, got out the door a little late because, we're kind of dealing with, getting kids ready for school and like all the drama in, post-hurricane. Like, we still hadn't heard from my in-laws yet. So they're fine. We heard from them on Monday. They're good. They got out. So don't worry about that. But we, so yeah, I mean, it was a weekend, right? So went out and I decided to pull the plug, run, somewhere between 6 and 8 miles. I ended up running 7, at a fairly easy pace. I mean, it was a little quicker. Like, I mean, it wasn't pushing hard, but I wasn't plodding. But I cut at 7 thinking if I'm feeling frisky this afternoon, I can split it into a double and go get like 4 this afternoon when I get done with work and that kind of thing. I didn't. But and then we went and lifted, at about 8:30, went in and did a couple sets, did like some squats on the BOSU ball, did some push-ups on the BOSU ball, some hamstring curls on the stability ball, and then, we did some rows on the TRX straps. So like 2 sets of like 15 reps on everything except for the squats where I did 20. Not a lot of work, right? And then I had to convince myself to not just lay on the mat on the gym floor and to do my minute of plank. And that was when I was like, yeah, I'm cooked. I need to dial it back a little bit. And even so, this week originally wasn't scheduled to be a recovery week. That's next week. But Monday and Tuesday, we definitely took it a little easier. Monday morning, I just went to the coffee shop and hung out, did some work on the laptop, piddled around, waiting to hear from the in-laws kind of deal, make sure everybody's okay. Saw a couple friends at the coffee shop, said hey. But mostly I sat there and I had a great cup of coffee at Common Goods. Shout out to Common Goods. They're great. If you're in the area, you should check them out. They had an excellent fall donut with like cinnamon maple kind of stuff on it. And then I also had some of their really awesome sourdough avocado toasts with feta and hot sauce on there. And oh man, it hit the spot. And so by the time, I was picking up kids in the afternoon, that kind of stuff, I started to kind of recover finally from Friday and Saturday. I was starting to feel a little perkier after intentionally trying to eat a lot of food and just trying to chill and take it easy. And I ended up not running a double on Monday. One, it was 85 plus 87, something like that out. By the time I had a chance to do it before having to go, do the dad taxi thing in the afternoon. And so the heat index was close to 100. And I made the call that morning that I was cooked. I needed to dial it back. So I probably won't get quite as many miles as I originally planned this week. That's okay, right? There's nothing magic about hitting a specific mileage. You should not be a slave to your training plan. Even when you write your own training plans, it's constantly in flux, right? Pretend it's in pencil, even if it's on a spreadsheet, right? You can edit it. Every workout should take into account how you're feeling and what the previous few days / weeks / couple of weeks have looked like, and should set you up for what's coming. And today, Wednesday, the workout didn't look too bad this morning. Warmed up, did some drills, a couple striders, 2 times 5 minutes of threshold, some hill repeats that were 200 meters long. We changed it a little bit. We ran a hard 800 meter repeat in the middle of it in in the low 230s, so close to mile pace. So that was a good, hard, intense effort. And then our hill repeats ended up being about 250 meters instead of 200. And so it was a quality workout, and then I went and lifted, right? So I'm tired. It's a quality day. That's fine, right? But I would not have been able to do that quality of work if I hadn't taken Monday morning and Tuesday morning fairly easy and got some good sleep on Monday and Tuesday. Unfortunately, last night, got woken up in the middle of the night. Kids, cats scratching on doors. So sleep wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible on Monday night. Monday night was good. So tonight, by the time I get to bed, I will probably crash. I will sleep hard, and it will be great. And tomorrow's a recovery day. And we're just gonna go half an hour easy and get ourselves set up for, another 7 or 8 miles on Friday and another long run on the weekend. And come Saturday, we'll see how we're feeling, whether or not we're just going in to get a long run done, or if we're gonna put some goal marathon pace work in there, or some tempo work in there, or something like that. Just a little bit of stimulus without overdoing it, because we are still going to plan, even though we dialed it back a little this week, next week, especially because today was harder than intended at the track with that 800 in there. Next week is going to be a little bit of a deload week. And so knowing that if I'm feeling frisky on Saturday, I know I can probably push the envelope a little bit as long as I don't get too greedy, because I know the next week is recovery week, which will help me absorb all that training I've done. So the trick is to not overdo it. Listen to your body. Rest when you need to. Make sure you do that cross training so you don't get hurt. And don't be a slave to your training plan, right? Take into account what you did yesterday. Take into account what you're planning to do tomorrow. Get the best out of the workout that you can. So that's what I tell my clients. That's what I tell myself. I'm not always the best at following my own advice, but we're trying. So, so yeah, that's the weekly update. So until next time, train smart.